Hey guys, what's up, and welcome back to another episode of Miles Edgeworth Ace Attorney Investigations. In the last episode, we talked to Mr. Ernest Amano about the kidnapping and his son, and we met this Interpol agent named Shi Long Lang, who is kind of preventing us from continuing our investigation, but we continue on anyway, investigating the area, and we find Mr. Officer Meekins, and we open up the garage to find a dead body, the one of Mr. Oliver Deacon, the butler over at the Amano Manor. And, Shi Long Lang comes over and arrests Meekins, on suspect of committing the crime, but we don't think that he could have done it, so we tried to prove him innocent, or we're gonna try and prove him innocent with more evidence, because, yeah, who thinks Meekins could have done it? It's Meekins, dude. But, yeah, let's go ahead and continue on. March 13th, 1:22 p.m., Gatewater Land main gate. Chased out like a pair of peasants.
Mr. Edgeworth.
Yes, Kay?
There's something even thieves should never steal. Do you know what that is?
You really shouldn't steal anything, however, I'll bite. What shouldn't a thief steal?
A life. It's too heavy of a burden on your soul to get away with. Ever.
That's something we can agree on. Well said, Kay. No matter what we may try, murder is the one crime that can never truly be hidden. And I intend to prove that by my own hands, when I apprehend the murderer myself.
All right! And I'm gonna work extra hard to be a good assistant. Let's go!
I still never said that she could be my assistant. I'm just gonna drop the issue. The first thing we should do is locate the real scene of the murder. Mr. Edgeworth! Detective Gumshoe! Mr. Edgeworth! The stadium! Hurry, sir! This is supposed to be hush-hush, but they found a witness at the stadium! A witness? You, what did we tell you about leaving your assigned post? Ah, the jig is up! Mr. Edgeworth, remember that I'm always rooting for you, so go get him, sir!
Those detectives sure look like they're enjoying themselves.
It's not all fun and games, Kay. Now then, let's head to the stadium and meet this witness. March 13th, 1:42 p.m. Stadium. I thought there was a witness here.
Yeah, I don't see anyone.
Emma! You are Miss Emma Skye, correct? This girl is the younger sister of my former superior, Lana Skye. 2 years ago, we stood in the same courtroom together as witness and prosecutor. But I thought she had gone to Europe to study forensics.
I can't believe you remember me, Mr. Edgeworth.
Of course I do. How have you been? You look to be in good spirits. Are you still studying abroad?
You bet. More than anything, I want to investigate crime scenes, scientifically. I've been studying non-stop every day to become a top-notch forensic scientist. But it's spring break now, so I thought I'd come back for a bit.
I see. Emma. I almost didn't recognize you. You've really grown in these past few years.
Please don't tease me, Mr. Edgeworth. I know I still have a long way to go. But I'm going to be a super forensic scientist someday. You'll see. You seem to know Mr. Edgeworth really well. Are you two acquaintances? Oh, I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Emma Skye. Nice to meet you. I'm studying abroad now to be a forensic scientist. How about you? Wow, that's a great dream. My name's Kay Faraday, and I'm training to become an unstoppable great thief. A great thief?
Don't think too hard on it, Emma. It's not worth the trouble. In any case, we have much to catch up on.
You bet we do.
So why are you here, Emma?
Well, I just happened to decide to come back home for spring break. And then I heard that you'd come back too, so I raced on over here. I had really wanted to welcome you back at the airport, but I just missed you.
And how exactly did you know I was here?
Through the power of science, naturally. Never underestimate what science can do for you. I use these to track your footprints, and I follow them straight to you. This set is the greatest! It's so wonderfully scientific. You spray this chemical on the ground, and when you shine the special light on it, zing! The footprints light up like an electrified noble gas in a glass tube. It's almost like magic, scientifically speaking.
Forensic science has never seemed more ominous to me than at this very moment. Emma, I'd like to ask you about what you witnessed.
Huh? What are you talking about?
Are you not the witness Detective Gumshoe told us about?
Well, I did get a call from Detective Gumshoe earlier. He was practically yelling at me. Mr. Edgeworth needs your scientific doohickeys right now, pal, he said.
What was that man thinking? Or rather, not thinking?
So, let me guess, there has been a murder, right?
Yes, unfortunately. There's a sudden glint in her eyes. But I need to keep my mind focused on the witness. Now, where did that person go? I assume this is another Badgermobile?
Yeah, but it's a different color than the Blue Badger's car.
Yes, this is the retina searing pink model. What's that off in the distance? Oh no. It's the pink badger.
Oh hey, it's the pink badger! Badger, get!
Badger, 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 badger. Just what does she see in these silly things?
I think this badger has something to say to you, Mr. Edgeworth.
Are you by chance the witness I've been searching for? Sorry, but I don't speak badger dance. Hello? No! You're... No! Why her? Why here? Why now? I first met this woman 3 years ago. She was a witness in one of my cases. She has since gone out of her way to pop up unexpectedly and cause me great grief.
Oh no, we haven't seen you since Farewell My Turnabout. Come on now, I don't want to see you.
I had a bad feeling before, but this just made it official. Today has gone beyond the typical not my day into the realm of waking nightmare.
So you're a friend of Mr. Edgeworth too, Miss Pink Badger? You could say that, but right now I'm just the Pink Badger, dearie.
She may look the part, but I know better than to trust my eyes around this woman.
My name is Wendy Oldbag, but you can call me Wendy, or Granny, or whatever suits your fancy. Nice to meet you, Miss Oldbag. I'm Kay Faraday. What do I care about a young whippersnapper like you? Yeesh, I was just trying to be polite.
No. Weren't you a security guard at one of the Gatewater hotels the last time we met?
I go wherever I'm needed. I'm very good at what I do, unlike the youth of today. I get called in all the time to fill in with when there aren't enough hands. But enough about me, Edgy Poo. I'm thoroughly dejected right now. I finally get the chance to see you again, and here you are talking with 2 young girls. Men are all the same. Doesn't matter how old they get with young girls. Why, they just happened the other day. They don't notice me. You just kind of got into a arrangement. What the What? You seem to attract all sorts of interesting people, Mr. Edgeworth.
Kay, please, I'm begging you. By all means, do not provoke her any further. I don't wish for her to speak.
Aren't you forgetting about something, Mr. Edgeworth? This person could be the witness.
Honestly, I hope she isn't, but I don't think fate is going to be so kind today.
I saw what happened. I even saw the exact moment it happened. How's that? So it's true. She is the witness.
I don't suppose I can afford to ignore the old bag.
Yes, it was just a little while ago. I saw it happen right in front of me. The moment of the murder.
You mean to say that you witnessed someone being killed right before your eyes?
Sounds like a pretty important piece of testimony to me. I came to the stadium to take a short break. As I was resting, I happened to glance over and I saw 2 men facing each other in that area. Suddenly, there was a loud gunshot, and the person who was shot fell to the ground. It was a very terrifying experience, let me tell you. Looks like we hit the jackpot, huh, Mr. Edgeworth?
Yes, I can't afford to ignore what she has to say. Unfortunately.
What's that unfortunately you tacked on at the end supposed to mean, Edgy Poo? Well, anyway, let's see what we can find out from this little old lady.
Okay. You saw 2 men? Can you describe them for me?
They look like your average Joes, completely uninteresting and not worth fawning over. I'm telling you, they were so boring that I don't even remember much beyond that.
But did they have any special features? Anything you can recall would be very helpful.
Oh my! Don't tell me you're jealous of those two men. Hey, she's right. You do seem pretty worked up over them, Mr. Edgeworth.
I'm not worked up over anyone, and I'm not jealous.
It's alright, Edgy Poo. Those two are just foals compared to a stallion like you. I thought so little of them that I lost interest the instant I laid eyes on them.
I don't care. Tell me what you saw. You're claiming to have seen the exact moment in which the murder took place.
Absolutely. That gun made a terrible racket when it was fired. You didn't try to go help the person that got shot? I'm the only person, you smart-alecky brat. What could I have done?
Oh, I'm only one person. I read it wrong. 2 men, 1 bullet. It's all consistent with what we found out from the body. Sadly, there wasn't exactly a lot of new information to go on in your testimony.
Well, if I saw the guy again, I'm sure I could identify him for you. I mean, how do you expect me to remember anything without anything to jog my memory? Self-centered, are we?
While it was somewhat useful, her testimony also presents us with a new problem.
Mr. Edgeworth!
Yes?
So about this new problem.
What is that giant grin on your face for?
Do you want me to show you something really nice?
No, thank you.
Don't be so mean. I swear it's something you're gonna like.
What is that gadget you're holding?
What you see before you is the secret weapon of a great thief.
Ah, I should have known it would be worthless.
Aw, don't be like that. What do you think now?
What is it doing? It's projecting something into the air.
I'm gonna input the necessary information to run the simulation now. Once I'm done, I'll increase the size of the projection to its maximum size. Dark skies of evening, when no other bird dares take wing, one alone remains all-seeing. Now, witness the true power of a real modern-day Robin Hood.
What? What is this?
This is a recreation of the murder based on the info I inputted into the Little Thief.
Little thief? I dare say I think you're taking the Robin Hood thing a little too far.
Little Thief is actually meant to be a simulator for me to plan my thefts. But I suppose if I used it like this... Let's see, Miss Olbach said that the two men were facing each other, and then a gunshot rang out, and the victim fell to the ground.
Ah, so with this we can inspect the crime scene as it was in the past.
See? So what do you think?
I have to say, I'm impressed by the technology thieves have access to these days.
Well, it is the super secret weapon of the mighty Yatagarasu.
Indeed.
Oh, but if there isn't enough information, or if something is out of place, the recreation could come out a little strange.
In other words, I can use this to authenticate the validity of a witness's testimony?
You got it! You really catch on quick, Mr. Edgeworth.
Right now, the simulation is a recreation of that witness's testimony. So for now, I should re-examine everything. And if I find anything illogical or strange, I can then ask for clarification.
Feel free to examine anything in the simulation in the way you always do. You can even present evidence when you find a contradiction. And if you find something, I've got Little Thief with me, so you just let me know, okay?
Okay. Wow, this is something. It's the silhouette of the killer with his gun at the ready. Kay, is it not possible to recreate the face of the killer?
Well, I can't exactly input what we don't know into Little Thief.
She has a point. According to the testimony, the victim fell to the ground here.
That's right, but
if that's the case, then we've already found our first contradiction.
Huh? What? Where?
If this is the real scene of the crime, there's something missing that should be here. Which piece of evidence shows the missing item? I don't know, blood? This is the contradiction.
Huh? Is something wrong with my recreation?
If this is the real scene of the crime, something specific should be here. If you think back, how did we deduce that the other crime scene was not the real one?
Oh, I get what's missing now. There's no blood on the ground here either, right?
Right. The fact that there is no blood here casts doubt on the witness's testimony.
Edgy boo, how can you doubt me like that? Are you calling me a liar? I know what I saw, and I saw the victim get shot down. You know, I don't think she's lying, Mr. Edgeworth.
To be honest, I can't think of a reason why she would lie to me. In that case, maybe there is another explanation for the distinct lack of blood. strange. It looks like they broke the stage down.
I guess this means they're done for the day.
Or maybe it's because a different show is scheduled to start its run tomorrow. Is it not possible that the victim was wearing a costume?
So you really think that Mr. Deacon was one of the kidnappers?
I think we can reasonably assume that there is a very good chance he was. And if he was shot while he was inside one of those costumes...
Then Mr. Deacon's blood would be inside of the costume instead of on the ground!
Precisely. Now, if only we could prove that the victim was wearing a costume.
You'd think it'd be pretty easy if we could find some footprints. But the problem is finding them, since there doesn't seem to be any around.
Footprints, huh? I wonder how we can go about finding some of those. Gee, I wonder. It's not as if Emma was talking about them earlier. Emma, about that method you were talking about for finding footprints.
Ah, finally! My expert knowledge in forensics is needed!
Yes, well, can you detect and trace even partial footprints?
Leave it to me! My cutting-edge detection kit can find anything!
Very well. If you could please analyze the footprints in this area.
Okay, stand back now and witness the power of science at work. Hey, I found something! Look, right there!
I don't see anything.
Oh, that's right. Here, put these special glasses on, Mr. Edgeworth.
These footprints here were definitely left by a badger costume.
Judging by the way the prints are layered, those seem to be the newest.
Then we can conclude that the victim was definitely wearing a costume at the time.
Okay, in that case, I'll update the little thief simulation parameters. I can't wait to see what we find out from this new info.
Okay. Nice. So the victim was wearing a costume when he died.
And with that, we should be one step closer to the truth, right?
I see the recreation has changed in accordance with the new information. We may be closer, but now something else has caught my attention.
What do you want?
Your testimony, naturally. I'd like to hear it one more time, if you please.
I came to the stadium to take a short break. As I was resting, I happened to glance over and saw two men facing each other in that area. Suddenly, there was a loud gunshot, and the person who was shot fell to the ground. It was a very terrifying experience, let me tell you.
So it's just the same testimony, okay.
So, does this mean that Miss Olbach's testimony is a contradiction in it?
Yes, and I believe our best course of action is to compare it with your recreation.
See? I just knew Little Bee would be of help. Now let's see if we can pull more info from Miss Olbach to put into the recreation.
For that, we must first find the contradiction in her testimony. Okay. Two men? How did you know the gender of the two people involved? Seeing as how the victim was wearing a costume at the time.
Ah!
Furthermore, I have another matter I'd like to inquire about. I'd very much like to know why you failed to mention the costume in your testimony.
Ah!
I'm beginning to doubt if you really witnessed the murder at all.
But I'm telling you, I really did see it! I saw it with my very own eyes! From a seat in the second tier.
The second tier?
Hey, didn't you say you saw it right in front of you earlier? That was, I was using the phrase in the metaphorical sense.
I see our witness still has a screw loose in the metaphorical sense.
The cushy seats in the second tier are reserved for hotshot VIPs, which is exactly why I go there now and again to take a nap.
I can't see how you could have gotten a good look from there. It's so high up. Were you able to see even the victim's costume from way up there?
Well, I know I saw two people, but I couldn't really see what they looked like because they were in the stage's shadow. My eyesight isn't what it used to be, you know. Not like when I was young.
Oh. Let's return to our investigation, shall we, Kay?
You got it!
I believe we have another logic that we need to do. Yes. Okay. Logic. Logic! If that woman's testimony is to be believed, the murder occurred before the stage was broken down.
Do you want me to input that bit of info into the little thief?
Yes, if you please.
Okay.
Well, that's odd. What the frick? What are you doing? There was clearly
a contradiction here.
Please stop stealing my lines.
Come on, it wasn't that hard to see coming, even for a layman like me.
I suppose, in any case, it's not possible for the killer to have stood here in that way, because there was a very real stage set up in this spot at the time.
Yeesh, I told you I got it. Do you feel the need to explain everything?
Yes, I'm a prosecutor, that is what I do. Yes, well, in any case, we still need to resolve this unusual situation.
Isn't it obvious? The killer was on top of the stage, naturally. Right, Miss Oldbag? Yes, I remember now. The killer was standing on top of the stage. See? Now let me update the info in the simulation. I was about to say little thief. I keep trying to say little thief.
Well, 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 what have we here? A bunch of hooligans running amok, I see. This theme, dude. Agent Lang, how nice of you to join us. Well, I can't have you going around messing up my crime scenes. Agent Lang, we've discovered that the real scene of the murder is here, the stadium. I see. Thanks. For what? I'm just trying to show you my appreciation for all the time you saved me. Who knew that such a strange little toy could recreate a crime scene like that?
Little thief is not a toy.
You two! Sir! Governors! And there you have it. You see? Big boys like me don't need silly toys, little girl. Now this is a recreation. So what? Do you still intend to assert that Officer Meekins is the killer? Of course. Even knowing that the crime took place here doesn't let him off the hook. This is the real scene of the crime. Officer Meekins lay in wait for the victim on top of the stage. And when the victim finally showed, he shot him from on high. That's the truth your little recreation showed. How far will you go to accuse Officer Meekins of the crime? He's the most likely suspect we got, especially given the situation with his gun.
Well, even if he is the killer, at least my recreation was on the mark.
You see? Thank you for understanding, my little crow girl.
I'm not some common crow. I'm the Yatagarasu, the Raven of Legend.
Unfortunately, your conclusion has yet to be tested, so let's see how well it holds up. Okay, hold on. I need to check something real quick. Body was moved. Entry point, lower right abdomen, exit point, shoulder. Wait. Yeah, that doesn't make sense. The bullet had an upward trajectory. That's what I was thinking, so I was like, he can't... This don't make sense. I'm terribly sorry, Agent Lang. I should have warned you that our recreation is incomplete. You cut in quite unexpectedly after all. Even though it said that the investigation was complete in the game, you said that the victim was shot by the killer from up above, correct? I hate to break it to you, but that's not possible.
Huh? Why not?
Recall Mr. Deacon's body, specifically where the gunshot wounds were located.
Actually, I didn't get that good of a look.
Oh, well then. The bullet entered Mr. Deacon in his abdominal region and it exited his right shoulder. This is more consistent with an angled shot from beneath the victim. Ugh!
Then...
Yes, our recreation had the victim being shot at an angle from above.
A clear contradiction!
You're discounting your own conclusions? No, this one point is the only flaw. This was the mistaken parameter in our recreation. Yes, the locations of the killer and the victim were wrong. I get it. I see what you're trying to say. I believe the killer and the victim were standing opposite to what we initially thought. It was the victim who was on top of the stage as he was being shot by the killer. If this is what happened, it also explained the positioning of the gunshot wounds.
But then, what about the footprints?
Since footprints don't lie, we can assume then that the killer also wore a costume.
Okay, I'll try using that data instead.
Judging by the fact that both the killer and victim were wearing costumes, I'd say it was a killing between two kidnappers. That would be the most natural conclusion. Wouldn't you agree, Agent Lang? I randomly had the song, the badger, 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 mushroom, mushroom, pop into my head, and I just started laughing. Well done, Mr. Prosecutor. That alone doesn't clear Officer Meekins of the crime. Well, yeah, Meekins was in a costume. I asked that you take another good look at the tire marks over there. The 3 marks are indicative of a blue Badger mobile. That story Officer Meekins told about that shop on wheels getting stolen was just a lie. He drove the blue Badger mobile here and committed the murder. Then he used the car to move the body to the garage in the Wild Wild West area. You believe he moved the body with the car? That's right. It was Officer Meekins himself who pointed us to the way he did it. The 3 triad tread marks are very telling, however. Is the blue Badgermobile the only thing capable of creating such a pattern? I mean, we don't have the pink Badgermobile in the court record, do we? Sorry, Agent Lang, but that's an impossible tale. And why is that? Those tire marks could not have been left by Officer Meekins' blue Badgermobile. One look at the car would have told you so. What proves that the blue Badgermobile had never been to the stadium? The mud marks. There are no mud marks. Take a good look at the tires. There's not a single dollop of mud to be found on it. Ugh. If this car had come to the backstage area and left those tire tracks, then the lack of mud on these tires stands out as very peculiar indeed. And how do you explain the tire tracks, genius?
Hey, I've got it. What about Miss Olbeck's pink Badgermobile? Don't be ridiculous. I was sleeping the entire time in the second-tier seats.
Indeed, I believe we can rule her out as someone related to the crime. However, there is yet one more roving store, as I recall.
Oh, you mean the Proto-Badger?
That's right. There was one more parking space inside that garage, and it proves the existence of a Proto-Badgermobile. Agent Lang, I suggest you find this Proto-Badgermobile post-haste. There must still be some sort of incriminating evidence in it. Ugh.
Hey, did you hear something?
Oh my god. Help me. What?
Are you alright?
Well, this is something. Looks like we found our kidnapping victim. Where were you all this time? Wild West with kidnappers. He was in the room next to the one I was held in? Ran away using underground and got lost. The kidnappers. What is it? I can't understand what you're trying to say. The kidnappers escaped wearing costumes. Did you see the faces of your kidnappers? No, I didn't see their faces, but two. One was a woman. A woman? Quite an important piece of testimony. Hey, what are you guys doing? Stop standing there and get your cops on this already. I'll even let you guys have what the kid said just now. Consider it a gift. Now, are you gonna get out of my crime scene or am I gonna have to get rough? Again?
You're nothing but a big bully! Come on, Mr. Edgeworth, let's go!
No, not you. You're a very important witness for my case. I'm not about to let you get away that easily.
Don't count on me to testify because I won't. Not for you. That's right. I won't either. You hear me? Not you, young whippersnapper.
Hey, calm down. There's no need for all this hostility. I just want to take a statement from each of you. I'm not gonna rough either of you up. I give you my word. Come now, fair maidens. What do you say? Will you cooperate?
Fair maidens? My, you little rascal. You sure know the way into a woman's heart.
Lang Ji says, the passage of time is but a fleeting moment, and a lady is young forever.
Trying to outdo my edgy poo with your fancy smancy sayings? Let's get this over with. We're clear. I'm more interested in giving you my statement.
Sure, just as soon as Mr. Prosecutor leaves us be.
Mr. Edgeworth!
What? So he just casually walks back onto the scene. Dang, okay. Well, this is getting interesting. Alright. Okay. Well, that is it for this episode. I'll see you next time. Roll the end card.
Objection! You haven't hit like and subscribe yet. Hold it! You forgot to ring the bell to get notified whenever I upload. Take that! Click here to watch more of my videos. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye-bye!